Good morning, Florida Lacrosse fans. Tuesday, May 31st. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Lee Roggenberg, your host. May 31st, first day after Memorial Day. I think we all know what that means. The end of the amateur season and on to the clubs and professionals and all the rest. A terrific Final Four weekend in general. And we have a national champion in the Tampa Spartans on the men's side. Congratulations to Coach Clark and his team and the program. But first, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so. And remember to like the video if you do so. Make sure to let everyone know about this. We're going Tuesdays and Thursdays in the off season. And then as we get closer to the high school season, we'll start to bump that back up. So obviously the big story, at least for Florida lacrosse fans, is Tampa with the 11-7 win over Mercy. Unfortunately, you had to watch the NCAA.com broadcast. Kyle David, who used to write with Inside Lacrosse, tweeted out yesterday afternoon, why can't someone find a way to broadcast this besides the NCAA website? And I certainly agree with that. It used to be on one of the ESPN channels. Maybe if we had the Ocho of dodgeball fame, we'd be able to get it onto there. I can tell you that Mercy, who fell to Tampa, does have a Florida connection. Those who remember Joey Guglielmo of St. Thomas Aquinas. He was a graduate student on this squad. Joey, best known in Florida for that triple overtime game winner in the state semifinal against Benjamin back in, I guess, 2018 or I guess now maybe even 2017. Jeez, time flies. Now for Tampa, we had 4 Florida alums who were on the team and celebrated the championship. We had Christian Barodiak and his brother Anthony Barodiak. Christian, senior on the team, St. Thomas grad. Anthony is a freshman and a St. Andrews grad. Hunter Turner, who took the face-offs, junior from Newsom. And Jackson Day, a junior from Eastlake. So congratulations to all 4 of you. You're NCAA champions. That's something that will stay with you. And the game itself, Tampa, it was a slow opening, and then Tampa sort of jumped out. I believe they were up as much as 6-1. And that was just kind of Mercer's attempt to chip away as the game went on, but it never really got closer than I think 7-4, I think was the closest it got. But at that point, Tampa just kind of ground them down. They held the offense in check. Cole Willard led the Spartans with 4 goals. Daniel Fitzpatrick, 3 goals and 1 assist. Luke McEnany with a couple of goals. Christian Barodiak had an assist, 3 ground balls, and a caused turnover. Hunter Turner went 13 for 22 and 11 ground balls. And Matthew Badeau, who was I believe the Division II Player of the Year, or if he's just the Defensive Player of the Year. Either way, a goal, 3 ground balls, and 3 caused turnovers as a long stick midi. Matthew, I suspect we're going to be seeing him. I don't know if he's a senior, if he's coming back for a year. But if he's a senior, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone in PLL give him a shot at some point this year. So again, congratulations, Coach Clark, the program, and all the rest of you up in Tampa. Now, Caitlin Wurzberger also is now a national champion. Those of you who watched over the weekend, I can tell you that the girls' Final Four was a lot more exciting. The women's Final Four. It's a lot more exciting than the men's Final Four was. Both Friday semifinal games were 1-goal comeback wins in the fourth quarter. North Carolina's was truly incredible, trailing 14-7 with a little under 10 minutes to go in the game. finishing the game on an 8-0 run to win it 15-14. Caitlin, I think, had 2 of those goals in that game, including one quick stick that was really well covered on the replays by ESPN. Caitlin's dad, Rob, sent me a couple of pictures. He saw me tweet one of them out. I think it's really neat that the kids are given a smaller replica of the team trophy as sort of their keepsake for the accomplishment. Certainly would be a wonderful place over the fireplace if more than a few of us had them down in South Florida. But congratulations to Caitlin and the North Carolina squad. On the men's side, Cornell making a late rush. Maryland was holding on at the end, but they did hold on well for the 9-7 win. Jesse Bernhard, Lake Brantley, the assistant coach on Maryland as a defensive coordinator, gets his ring from there. Not his first, but again, congratulations to Jesse. The rest of the field, those of you who didn't see the article yesterday, we posted. We went through all of the finalists and all of the divisions for the NCAAs and came up with the following. On the women's Division III championship game, Middlebury did not have anyone, but Tufts had Sophia Antizana, a sophomore of Ransom Everglades, who was a former Jackie Pitts winner at Ransom. We had also Allie Savage, junior from Benjamin, who's also on that Tufts roster. In the men's Division III championship, it was RIT with the 12-10 win over Union. Neither squad had a Florida player. In Division II on the women's side, University of Indianapolis won the championship over East Stroudsburg. There was no one on Indianapolis, but Taylor Vara, St. Stephen's Episcopal freshman, or a graduate who was a freshman this year for East Stroudsburg, was on their team. I already mentioned on the men's Division I, Jesse Bernhard of Maryland. Cornell has Wyatt Canoose, backup goalie, Plant graduate. And in the men's Division II, we talked about the Tampa players and Mercy. And then in the women's Division I, obviously we mentioned Caitlin as being part of that. As far as I could see, no one on the on the Boston College women's side was. But, both of those women's semifinal games were just awesome. And the final went back and forth and tied at 8, tied at 9, tied at 10. UNC jumped out 12-10. Boston College got one with about 15 seconds left, but were not able to get a shot off that would allow the Eagles to send the game to overtime. So 1-goal win for North Carolina. Congrats to them too. Terrific season running the table, both the men's and the women's, undefeated national champs, obviously tested along the way, worthy of their titles and their seasons. And we don't get an awful lot of undefeated seasons running the table these days in men's and women's lacrosse. So, great accomplishments to both of them. During the broadcast of the Cornell Maryland game, they were talking about a book that Christian Swayze, who's editor and writer for Inside Lacrosse, put out, talking about the early 70s and how Cornell sort of forced their way into the conversation of being national champions. For those not aware of the history, 1971 was the first NCAA title game. It was Cornell and Maryland, and Cornell winning the game. Before that, just like the old college football, there was voting. It was impossible to get the trophy out of Maryland, even if another team deserved it. In all likelihood, they were voting for the Maryland team, whether it was Hopkins or Navy or whatever. And so that kind of, the book is worth it. I've seen excerpts, and it would be a nice stocking stuffer if you're thinking of something for your lacrosse playing kid. Okay. The ACC network in the morning on Monday to Friday, has a talk show called Packer and Durham. I think the Packer is Billy Packer's son. Not sure about the Durham. They spent a lot of time yesterday talking about the lacrosse championships. Obviously, the women, both of those are ACC teams. And it also gave them a chance to complain about Notre Dame not being in the field on the men's side. But it was really nice to see the quality of the conversation. Obviously, these guys have spent time watching and getting to know lacrosse. So, something to keep in mind next year. It's even before you tune in with us at 8:30. I believe they start at 7 a.m. in the morning. And it's a very nicely done show. It really is. It's sort of ESPN without the histrionics. If you don't really feel like listening to the latest woke or debate on all the rest of the stuff, you just want pure sports in general, you're getting that on the ACC Network show. Highly recommend that show. Also tuned in, kind of forgotten about this, the GEICO National High School event started yesterday up in DC. It was on ESPNU. The 4 teams were Salisbury School playing, let me get to the other one. The second game was IMG playing Taft, Salisbury, and the IAC school, Bullis. I came down here a couple of years ago, played some games down here. And there were 3, I was able to find 3 Florida kids in that event. Taft, Ethan Rubenstein is, I didn't catch which school you're going to, Ethan. Sorry, I'll maybe update that tomorrow. Formerly of Pinecrest, played a couple of years at Pinecrest and then moved up to Taft in Connecticut. Aiden Aiken, formerly the Kings Academy Midi, who was on that terrific 2020 team, is now at Salisbury. And Trace Davidson, who graduated Gulf Coast and decided to do a post-grad year up at Salisbury. And the 2 of them were on the field together quite a bit as a midfielder. I believe Aiden is on the first midfield and Trace is on the second, but if that's wrong, let me know and I'll correct it. Both of them scored last night in their win over Bullis. By the way, Taft handled IMG, pulling away from him the second half pretty comfortably. So, it was good to see them. And again, it's just one of those things where we're following kids at the next level. Now, one last thing I want to mention, I've been talking quite a bit about the FLN Florida Prep Showcase event that was a couple of weeks ago in Sebring. I've come up with a questionnaire that we're going to be sending out to parents. Parents, this is what it looks like, so you'll kind of recognize it. It is coming from me. And the point of this is I want to improve on the experience for the parents in particular at the next event. So we're going to be emailing them out. Kids, if it's your email that gets sent to, please forward it to your parents. And definitely want to see more for what the parents are getting. I watched when I was at the field, I had a chance to talk to a number of them, tape some interviews. But a lot of the time, the parents are sitting on the sideline, whether it's under the trees, they're talking to each other, but they're out there for a very long time. And to be honest, I think that time could be put to better use if we're sort of getting the parents involved in things off-site that are also on the lacrosse side, maybe put on an all-day seminar on Saturday for you. And that's what this questionnaire is getting at. If you have interest in this and if you want to, what might you want to see? So look for this in the email starting today. Easiest way to get it back to me, you can either fax it, I'll provide a fax number, or if you want to scan it and email it back to me, that's fine. Even take a picture on your cell phone and email it to me that way at lee@floridalacrossenews.com. That would be great too. And so, again, I think we're down to 236 days now until high school practice starts down here. We'll be around at some of the summer events and still doing work with Varsity Sports Network in order to get more coverage over the summer, interviews, etc., highlights, season review. Don't look for it too soon. We're going to really do a good job, hopefully, this year and take our time putting it together. So remember, let's continue to grow the game, respect the game, and honor the game. And by the way, if you were listening to the lineup for the championship game yesterday, you heard one of the refs say, respect the game. Okay, this is Lee Roggenberg saying so long from the Sunshine State.